Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Is this officially 143?
This is indeed.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Nathan.
Welcome to episode 143 of Adventures and Mousecapades. Today, it is officially spooky season. Actually, it's been spooky season for a little bit, but since we're towards the end of September and we are talking about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, we can say it is officially spooky season.
Indeed. In fact, as we record this, I don't know if you remember, but it's the 21st day of September.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's spooky, but it is true.
It is true. I will give a shout out to Brian Flock over at DCL Duo because he posted something on their socials this morning that made me guffaw that said, remember to leave cookies out for Earth, Wind, and Fire because it's, the 21st day of September. So that was well played, Brian. Nice job.
Very nice. Something to note for today, if you happen to be at Epcot and are riding Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the only song they will play today is September, which is pretty awesome because it's a very good one.
Yeah, the one song that I really wanted to hear when I was on that ride, the couple times that I was trying it and managed not to hurl, did not get that song.
Maybe we can try again in November.
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Well, I'm going to go on it.
Okay, fair enough.
Because the people going with us haven't been on it yet. So
very true.
I'm going to go on it.
Sounds like a plan. Well, speaking of Disney World, we are going to talk about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, the 2024 edition, or as it's affectionately known around here, MNSSHP.
Yeah. Or just not so scary.
Indeed. We were able to hit the party this year when we were out for our birthday surprise bash. We flew in on a Friday evening, and that was the night that we had tickets for Not So Scary. So we made it from the airport, dropped our stuff off over at Animal Kingdom Lounge at Jumbo House, and then hopped right over to the Ticketing and Transportation Center.
TTC.
Where we had to go through security and then get on. We took the monorail. We took Monorail Lime.
We did.
And
we are on there at 7:40 p.m.
Indeed.
The party starts at 7 p.m. and you do have early entry possible as well if you have a ticket for this. This is a separately ticketed event, so your regular park tickets will not work. You do have to have a ticket specifically for this party. And they range in price, I think, somewhere from like $120 up to $199, something like that. It changes every year.
Well, and it also changes depending on the date. The closer you get to Halloween, the more expensive they are. And I think the opening night is pretty darn pricey as well. So
I don't remember. But if you are an annual pass holder or you are a DVC member, you do get a slight discount in tickets. I think it's like $10 a ticket.
I thought it was $5.
I mean, it's not a huge amount, but it's not much. Something. Yeah.
We got over there. There was a lot of rain showers and thunderstorms and things around. In fact, that was kind of the whole story of our trip. There was just rain, and it was basically monsoon season. And once you got into the mid-afternoon through the evening, you were pretty much guaranteed to be going through a downpour at some point. So there were ominous clouds around the Magic Kingdom as we strolled into the park, which honestly made for some fantastic photo opportunities there in front of the railroad station. And we took advantage of.
Yeah. They were also piping in like fog around the area too. It's really cute. The topiary area or the garden area at the front of the park had little bats and spiders, I think, put in it. And the Mickey flower area has a mask on. It's really cool.
Yeah. It's cute. They always do such a great job decorating for the holidays. No matter what the holiday is, they go all out. It's pretty great.
Well, we came in and we went over to the right side of the entrance area, kind of like right around the back of Main Street. That's usually where they funnel people in that are coming in early, but they also have a couple little statues specifically for Halloween there. And there's a DJ talking to people and saying hi. And we went in, got some maps and just walked through that area.
It's just a fun atmosphere. That's also where we picked up our trick-or-treat bags.
Yep.
And let the night begin. Again, we were kind of a lot later than everybody else. I think, there's a rush probably around 4. There's a rush right around up through probably 6 or so as people are trying to get in as soon as possible due to flights and travel and all the rest of that stuff. We weren't getting in until almost 8 o'clock, which is fine. We were really there for the vibes and just to see what's going on. We had a hit list of activities that we wanted to do that was really focused around characters and events, more so than rides and candy. So I wouldn't say low expectations, but we had some set expectations of not trying to do everything in one night.
Yeah. Well, we did get to do a couple of rides, and they were good rides for sure.
Yeah.
Once we got in, our first stop was to get candy. This was at the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor, and it had a Halloween twist, is what it's notating on the map here. I don't know what the twist was. They had a different monster out there. I don't know. But as we were walking by, the guy saw the monster, saw Nathan, and was like, that guy's dressed up like a tourist.
I was. I had a flat cap on and a Halloween shirt. But yeah, I think that may be the twist is it's not really running a show. They have kind of like candy distribution in the queue areas. And then you can just kind of walk through the front of the stage, the front of the room of the audience stuff and walk right on out the other side. So I guess that's the twist. And they do have, one of the monsters doing kind of a comedy stand-up while people are walking through the room. Some people were sitting down, probably enjoying a little bit of air conditioning and a respite. But we just kind of, walked on through the front, which was really a little awkward. But hey, it is what it is.
We weren't the only ones. I mean, there's a line of people going straight through. So
there was.
It was okay. After that, since we were kind of over in the Tomorrowland area, we went over to Space Mountain, which has its own holiday twist, which I have been on before, but Nathan has not. I did not tell Nathan what was happening on this one.
No, you did not.
Nope. I just said it's a Halloween twist. Nathan, what happened on this one and what were your thoughts?
It was pitch black. I can't remember if there was some like eerie sound effects or spooky music or something like that, but it was pitch black. Like there was no lighting at all in any of like the launch tunnels or anything. You're getting thrown left and right and all of, I mean, as you do on that ride anyway, but there's no chance for you to absolutely at all understand what's coming.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a little bit of ambient light and you can kind of see what's going to go on. Yeah, no, not on this one. It was fun. I'm starting to get older and I am wondering if my aversion to Cosmic Rewind over there in Epcot isn't as much of the ride vehicle or how it hits me. The lap bar kind of hits my sternum and maybe I just can't handle some of these rides anymore because Space Mountain, I made it about 80% of the way through and then kind of started feeling a little iffy. And I know it wasn't on this night, but a couple of the other rides that we did while we were on this trip, I was not feeling as fantastic as I have in the past. Even Star Tours got to me a little bit, and I was shocked. So
maybe we need to have you try one of those nausea patches or bracelets or something.
Maybe. I don't get motion sick anywhere else, but this one's starting to do it to me. So yeah, we'll figure something out.
So this variation of Space Mountain is called Deep Space Mountain.
Yes.
And you were in the car in front of me, or shuttle, whatever they call it for Space Mountain. So you had two people in your pod that you didn't know, and I had two people in my pod that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was in the front of mine. You were in the very back of yours. There were two ladies behind me, and one of the ladies was screaming bloody murder, like absolutely terrified. It was not like fun screams. It was like, oh no, I am going to die type screams. And she was screaming through probably, I think, 3/4 of the ride. And then all of a sudden she just stopped. There was nothing. And I'm like, oh no, did she faint? I don't know if she did or not, but it was just, like I said, constant screaming. And then all of a sudden, nothing. I'm like,
wow. Maybe.
I mean, she got out fine behind me, so I don't know.
It was funny. I had a plaid in front of me. I had somebody from guest services doing a VIP tour with somebody, and she was in front of me, and I completely forgot where the picture was on this ride. And not that you can really tell because it's completely pitch black. And she, on our ride photo, has this perfectly timed like smile and wave at the camera, and I'm like ducking down because I've ridden this ride with the full lights on in the building, and you can see how close and how low all the cross beams are. I am scared of that ride just because I figure I'm going to lose a hand. And so I'm just like ducked down.
You don't need to duck down.
No, I don't need to duck down, but it sure feels like it. My brain tells me to.
Especially at the beginning. You don't need to duck down.
No, I know.
I enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun. I had no clue what was going on because you cannot see anything in front of you. You cannot see your hands in front of your face. Nothing. Yeah. And it is terrifyingly exhilarating.
That's a great way to put it.
After this, I decided I needed festival pins, so got those.
Yep.
And we saw a couple dressed up like Madame Leota and the Hatbox Ghost.
Oh, they were so good. They were really, really well done in their costuming. Like it is, yeah. We'll post a picture of this because it's just fantastic.
Yeah. And when I say Madame Leota, like she's dressed up like the table and her head is the ball.
Right.
With Madame Leota's. Yeah. It's really cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we'll post something like that for sure. We did ask permission before we took their picture because
of course,
cosplay is not consent. You should always ask before doing something.
Good call. Good note. While we were over in Tomorrowland, we also hit Buzz Lightyear's Space Rangers. This is a complete walk-on. I think Space Mountain was like maybe 5 minutes. I think it was listed at 10, and it was maybe 5.
It was fast, yeah.
Yeah. Space Ranger Spin, it is the OG of this type of ride where, you're moving through a space and you're getting points by shooting targets and things like that. It is not my favorite implementation of this ride or of this ride type. I cannot tell what I'm shooting at.
Yeah.
Because it's just like this little, very faint blinking red laser dot. And there's no way to know if it's your dot or somebody else's. You've got to spin the car around. Alicia was...
I was apparently spinning the direction I wanted to go, but not where you wanted to go. So you were not happy about that. I'm like, look,
you were leaving me high and dry. Like you could get the target, but like you'd leave the car like on an angle where I could shoot nothing. I'm like,
that's why I said you drive then because I'm doing fine for myself. But.
Hey, if this is the worst marital strife that we have, like I think we're doing okay.
Yes. After this, we went over to kind of the circus big top area in the back of Fantasyland to get our picture with a whole bunch of characters. They had Daisy and Donald, Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy in different Halloween costumes. It was a bit of a wait for a character photo, but they're freaking cute. So.
It was a long wait for that character photo. Like let's not
it was like
let's
an hour,
not hide that.
45 minutes.
It was
so?
at least 45 minutes. It was just not going fast. And I am totally fine with groups wanting to take a couple pictures and have a little bit of character interaction, but they could have been moving folks a little faster through this. It just wasn't good. Now, that said, this is the permanent area where they do character greetings back there in that corner of Fantasyland. And I will give Disney credit as much as I kind of went on a little mini rant last time. about their use of the photography boxes instead of photographers for these photo experiences, when this is what they've converted this place into. At least for the Halloween party, they actually had a real human taking pictures, and these were fantastic pictures.
Yes, these are very good. These are very good.
So we had Donald dressed up as a pumpkin. We had Daisy dressed up as a, I don't know, what you call it, medieval princess?
Yeah, a princess, yeah.
Minnie was in her green and purple witch costume.
Yeah.
And Goofy was, what was Goofy? A
I
pirate?
think he was a pirate. Oh, Mickey was not there. I'm sorry. I thought Mickey was there. Yeah, Goofy was a pirate, and he was very good. He was grabbing people when it was their time to go forward and take pictures, and this was a good group of characters.
We had a good interaction. They were all great. And we did our part and didn't overstay our welcome, so the line could keep moving.
Yeah. We were hungry after this.
Yes. We did at least have breakfast on the flight over, but it had been a long time since we had really had anything substantial to eat. So we said, oh, well, let's Be Our Guest is open for dinner during the Halloween party. Let's go over there. Yeah, stymied because they evidently closed seating at 7 or 8.
It was 8.
9:30 or 9:45 when we walked over there.
Yeah.
So that didn't work out.
Which is interesting. So it does say in the brochure that they give you for Not So Scary, take a break during the party to enjoy dinner at Be Our Guest Restaurant, Cinderella's Royal Table, or the Plaza Restaurant, or indulge with Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular Dessert Party. It does say these separately priced experiences may be booked online. So maybe we had to do that ahead of time.
Oh, because Be Our Guest closed, like their last seating time was at 8. And the plaza was showing as like not open at all.
Yeah.
And there was a line of storms about to roll in. And
Yep.
so we were frantically like, where can we go that's inside and out of the rain that's about to hit before everybody else figures out they need to get inside?
We went to Cosmic Rays.
Yeah, which I will say, I was shocked at how good the food was at Cosmic Rays. It's been a few years since we've eaten there, and I remember it being pretty meh before. And I'm not saying this is a gourmet meal by any stretch of the imagination, but for theme park food, like I think, burgers and fries and stuff kind of like that, it was really good. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed the burger. I would go get it again. I'd give it a 3.5, maybe a 4 on our scale of, I don't think it's something that I would go seek out, but it's definitely a doable option. Now, I don't know how much I'm being tainted in that score because this is Magic Kingdom we're talking about.
Yeah.
And there aren't a lot of great options for food in
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom in Florida.
Unless you're doing a sit-down restaurant.
Correct.
Then
correct.
there's better options. But the quick service quality is not the same as the Disneyland quick service quality.
Indeed.
No, this was good. I'd agree with you, and I'd give it a 3.5 or a 4 as well. I think we would find other options usually, but if we couldn't get anything, this would be fine for us.
Yeah.
And I got the ube green tea slushy with cherry whipped cream, cinnamon candies, and chocolate peace. I don't think I'd get this again. It was an odd taste.
Yeah.
The best thing about it was the cherry whipped cream on the top. Now, I do like ube flavor. I'm fine with that, but I think the ube with the green tea I did not like the combination at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are tons of food options for the spooky season and for the Not So Scary Halloween party. We did not really get to do much of any of it, and we'll get into that in just a little bit on why.
Yeah. Now, it did start downpouring as we had predicted. Well, that's radar was showing while we were there eating our dinner. And so, yeah, we just kind of hung out and watched everybody else come in completely soaking wet. It did delay the fireworks, although there was no notification in the app. They just didn't go off at 10 o'clock. And there was, big thunderstorms and everything in the area. And we figured, well, fireworks are not going to happen tonight. And then about 10:35, with no notification, all of a sudden explosions started happening outside.
Yep.
And it was still raining.
It's still
but
raining pretty hard.
They threw up the fireworks anyway. And I think I found my new favorite place to go watch fireworks in Magic Kingdom. Because frankly, I don't need to hear the music. I don't need to see the projections and all the rest of the stuff on the castle. Now, yes, they're cool. It's not like I won't go see them. However, with Villains Land and everything else that's going on in Frontierland, my previous favorite place to go watch fireworks is back over by the exit queue, or the exit rather, of Big Thunder Mountain. We came out of Cosmic Rays and took a right and kind of walked around the backside there of Storybook Treats and the Friar's Nook, kind of over there as you kind of wrap around back towards the castle. And the fireworks, y'all, are right there in your face. Like, it was a fantastic vantage point for the fireworks. And you can kind of get over behind the castle. They won't let you get up close to the castle. They do have that roped off because there is some stuff that launches off from the castle, which ends up going over your head, which is really cool. But the big stuff, obviously, is thrown up from behind the park. And you are really close. It was amazing. I really, really enjoyed the fireworks from this completely new vantage point. And there's nobody around because it was raining and all the rest of that stuff. And people really wanted to be in front of the castle. So it was great.
I wanted to be in front of the castle because this was a Halloween show. This is not the regular everyday show. I think going back here is great for any of the other regular nights.
That's fair.
I don't know that they had the projection stuff going on because the music did not sound like they were doing a Halloween show. It sounded like they were just setting off fireworks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know that we actually had the projection show. I could be wrong, but
yeah, we didn't see it because we weren't on the right side of the park. But I did talk to this point with Bill, who's a former cast member, as y'all may know if you listen frequently, and he was saying that once they load those shells in for the show that night, they don't unload them. The way they unload them is firing them off, and they don't like them to be sitting overnight. So you will at times have fireworks go off late at night at a random time. The park may be closed. It could be 1:30 in the morning and there's just a fireworks show. And if you're lucky enough, he was saying that sometimes they don't necessarily do the fireworks like on a 20-minute show or a 15-minute show. They just kind of throw them all off in quick sequence. So
dang.
yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. I would recommend if you are there for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, go in front and watch the show and watch the fireworks. That was one of the things that we wanted to do this evening was watch the show.
That's a good caveat.
Because it is a different one. It's not the regular, I don't know what it's called now. It's not Happily Ever After, is it? Whatever the everyday fireworks shows. It's not that. It's for a special event. So they have different music, different projections, all that.
I wish they would have pushed out a notification in the app to folks who are in the park or folks who had tickets, because we've seen them do that before, of say, hey, fireworks are going to be delayed by 20 minutes or by 30 minutes or something like that, or say, hey, fireworks are going to start at 10:35. We would have known that. We could have gotten ourselves out of Cosmic Rays and at least over towards the front of Tomorrowland. I don't think we would have had the best vantage point, but we could have at least known that it was going to start. Yeah. This completely surprised us that it was going. I think, actually, Alicia, I think you were in the restroom.
I was in the restroom, yeah. And I started hearing like noises. I'm like, I think those are fireworks.
Yeah, those are fireworks. I texted you too.
Yeah.
So, I think my ask to Disney, my feedback to Disney on that would be, hey, you have an app, you have an ability to send notifications out to folks who are in the park. When you're going to adjust stuff, especially for an after hours event, put a notification out in the app.
Yeah. It was pouring.
It was a warm rain, which is, living in the Seattle area, we're used to rain being very cold, and it was so awkward.
It was weird. It just felt weird. Yeah, we both had rain jackets and stuff. I had my like head to toe rain jacket, worked nicely. But we're soaking wet. Let's go get on Tiana's.
Yeah, right. It's not going to make us any more disappointed in the evening. Might as well go get wet at Tiana's.
Yeah.
And I wish we had more time in the queue because it was effectively a walk-on.
Yeah.
It took a bunch of pictures, but not nearly as many. It looks amazing through the queue. I'd love to have some more time to really take in all of the details that they've added. But
And the story, there's a whole story curated. There are news articles in the queue.
Yep.
It talks about Tiana's father and just like their family recipes and stuff like that. And we were just walking straight through. I guess, we could have let people pass us, but we didn't. We just wanted to go.
Yeah, we just wanted to go. It was amazingly wet. we have a couple pictures when you're climbing up a hill and there's floodlights that are illuminating the ride on the outside, but the rain was just pouring down. And like our whole flume ride log just saw the rain and the lights and we're just like, oh, well, we're definitely getting wet now. And I will add to that, not only was it raining and we got wet from that as the ride went outside, Tiana's Bayou Adventure gets you way more wet than Splash Mountain ever did. They have turned up the water. It's kind of insane.
We heard a little bit of a behind the scenes on Tiana's Bayou Adventure on how they calibrated the ride. And basically, they did not calibrate it thinking for your regular everyday park guest and number of people that would be in the log flume. So everything goes a little bit faster. The flume is in the water a little bit deeper. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you get wet on this one.
Yes, the logs are a little bit heavier than they were doing and running for testing, and they need to make some adjustments, but they haven't. It'll probably be a year before they're able to do that in the next scheduled maintenance period. They usually take these rides down in kind of like January or so for a few weeks to do. Like any water ride needs annual maintenance for a few weeks because water does its thing. But I loved this new ride though. All of the animatronics, the story was great. I need to do this again because I feel like I was focusing so much on trying to take a bunch of pictures and stuff so we could share, hopefully. And now that I'm looking at the pictures, none of them are really great. So, I mean, well, that's not none of them. Some of them.
It's a dark
ride. Yeah.
No, I was just in total awe of everything. My phone was in my bag under my jacket. Like, this is not getting out anywhere. And I was just in awe of all the animatronics. I've watched the ride on YouTube to understand the story because I knew I wouldn't have been able to follow it very much. Like, there's a part we went through and I leaned over to you, Nathan. I said, we're getting shrunk down right now.
Yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that. I did not. Go ahead.
Because you can't really tell from the ride what is happening. It went by too fast.
Yeah.
Mama Odie, you couldn't tell what she was saying. So I'm like, we're getting shrunk down right now. Yeah.
And that's actually another kind of point that we heard from, we'll say on background from some people in the know, that because these logs are running through the ride a lot faster than they had anticipated, the timing's off. And so the amount of time that you have for narrative to happen is in some cases, 20 or 30% shorter than they had kind of planned for. And so the story isn't landing as well as it could right now. I'm really excited for, again, probably next year, they'll be able to have some downtime for this ride, make some adjustments, and see this kind of live into its full potential. I'm not saying that this is a bad ride right now. I think it's a great ride. I think you should be entering with the expectation that you're not just going to get splashed once or twice, like from the big drops. Prepare to get your butt wet because the log will flood over the side. And just know that. But I think the real experience of this ride, we won't see what the Imagineers had in their mind and what they were planning, what they wanted us to experience. I think it's going to be another year or two before we get to experience that, and they can go back and make some significant adjustments. And maybe we'll see that in California. They have lessons learned. There's a reason that they opened like Rise of the Resistance and really Galaxy's Edge all up in California first, and then they like 6 months later they were staggering these things into Florida. Like they took a bunch of lessons learned. So I'm excited to see if California has these problems. Hopefully not.
I'm sure it's going to be totally different because they've just started testing on that ride.
Yeah.
And they have to calibrate it separately, obviously, from the Magic Kingdom one.
True.
So I'm really hoping they're not going to have these issues. And that's not opening until November 15th. So there's plenty of time for them to recalibrate or be like, wait, we did not have enough weight in this.
Yeah.
It's going to be different. So I think the California one's not going to have the issues that the Magic Kingdom one does.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But yeah, the animatronics on this are amazing. I love them so much. The big scene at the end, which was the Zippity Doodah scene on Splash Mountain, is great in Tiana's.
Yeah.
There's so many characters, and like I said, the animatronics are just astounding here. I love that we're able to see this leap in technology finally come to the domestic parks.
Yep, absolutely. Do you think they've added track runtime to the ride, or is this really the original ride and rethemed? Maybe it was because it was brand new. It seemed a lot longer than I remember Splash Mountain being.
No, this was the same.
Okay.
There was a part in here that both of us were like, oh, I don't remember that. And I went back and I asked somebody. I was like, was that always there? He's like, oh, yeah, that was always there. I'm like, okay, it's been a while since we've been on this.
Yeah,
And I don't know if it's like that in both parks. I don't know if the rides are exactly the same between Anaheim and Orlando. So
there was a lot more drops than I remember.
Got it.
Well, and probably with, water flowing a little bit more and the logs sitting a little lower in the water, those were probably more notable because water kept spilling over the side and I was getting my butt wet. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, this was great. I cannot wait to go on this again, and I don't care if I get wet because I really enjoyed this. I think this is a great update for Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
And I understand that some people are unhappy that the Splash Mountain ride is not around anymore. But do remember that Disney is always updating and changing. The parks are always going to be different.
Yep. Walt said it. So we'll just keep on moving forward.
Yes, indeed.
Speaking of moving forward, right after that, it was supposed to be time for the parade, and we looked at ourselves and said, "Selves, this parade ain't happening because it is pouring rain." And the parade didn't happen. It was turned into the Rainy Night Halloween Cavalcade, which was, I think, just like 3 units of a couple of the old cars and a bunch of the characters on them and the double-decker bus. And that was it. It was short and sweet.
It was a spooky splash of fun.
Indeed it was.
I am salty about this. I love the Boo-to-You parade.
I know.
That is my absolute favorite parade. And I understand they couldn't do this because of the rain. But
at least play the soundtrack for the cavalcade.
no, they're not going to do that. But nothing really happened this evening that we wanted to see.
No. It was, from that perspective, it was a bit of a bust.
Yep. There was no castle show.
No.
Too rainy. There was no parade.
No.
The fireworks were truncated. I don't think the projections were out on the front. Now,
No.
I will tell you this. If you get rained out like we did, you can contact Disney for some sort of compensation. And usually what they will do is they will give you tickets to a different evening. That didn't work for us, obviously, because we were
had
there for a
plans,
very
yeah.
finite amount of time.
Yep.
But you can work with Disney to get some sort of, like I said, compensation if you are rained out. I'm not sure how you do that other than by contacting them. You can do it on the same day, but then you're going to wait in a long line with a lot of people wanting to do the same thing. I know you can call and talk with them afterwards. I'm guessing it's just the regular Disney customer service line.
Yeah, that'd be my guess too.
Yeah. So this just means I want to go to another at some point.
Oh, no.
Not this year, obviously,
Right.
but we'll have to do another Not So Scary in the years to come so I
Absolutely.
can get my Boo-to-You Halloween parade fix.
No complaints from me at all. We did get to go do Haunted Mansions, so that helped kind of rescue some of the evening, right?
Yeah, that was great. I mean, we did, like I said, we did not get to see the Cadaver Dans.
Yeah.
That is the Dabber Dans in their Halloween gear.
You didn't see the hitchhiking ghosts
No.
who alternate with the Dapper Dans over there, and I think it's Frontierland.
Yeah.
And or Adventureland, wherever, over on that side of the park.
Adventure Frontier.
Sure. Liberty, Adventure, Frontier, something on the left. And we didn't.
And we also did not get to see Carlotta the ghost and the butler ghost in front of the Haunted Mansion. We've seen them in years past, and they are hilarious.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
We did have a PhotoPass photographer there right in front of the Haunted Mansion, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah, we got some good pictures there. Got to hold a spooky lantern.
Yeah.
We also got to do some pictures on the side of the castle. There was no castle show, but they were letting off the fireworks.
Yeah, there was some sort of a show. It wasn't the stage show that has the Sanderson sisters and stuff like that. But there was there was something going on. Maybe there was projections, because the castle definitely has projections on it in these pictures that we had. But it wasn't the normal show. Yeah, the Jack Skellington huge puppet was not out because of the rain. So there was still some sort of entertainment that was happening, but it just wasn't what was originally planned. But it was still neat to see. And a great backdrop for some of our pictures, because the fireworks went off and our photographer had no idea that was going to happen.
She was freaked out.
Yes.
She did not like the fireworks happening while she was taking pictures at all.
No.
That was
funny.
That was interesting. I was like, it's okay. They're not going to get you. Like, she was legitimately frightened of the fireworks, which I haven't seen before, but
I mean,
I told her she got it.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah.
Doing a good job.
And that was kind of it for the evening. We did hit a couple of the candy spots, got a bunch to kind of have in the room and here and there. I enjoyed having the Snickers on hand. It's a good source of protein every once in a while, as you need to have something, but neither of us are huge candy eaters. So
speak for yourself.
Okay,
If it's
fair
chocolate,
enough.
although a Reese's peanut butter cup has 6 grams of protein, I'm just letting you know.
Noted. Now, one of the special things that we did get to do is ask a bunch of the cast members here at the Halloween party what their bats' names are. So if you're not familiar, the ladies' costumes have a kind of a headband that has a bat on it, and the gentlemen's costumes have basically a bow tie that is a bat. One of the things that all the CMs get to do is they name their bat. And so as we were having interactions with all the cast members, we asked what their bat's name was. Yeah. And I really think that this was a chance to show off some of the amazing creativity that these cast members have. And it was just this extra spark. And you could tell, like, they were all excited that somebody was actually asking.
It was a lot of fun. If you go to Mickey's Not So Scary, do ask the cast members what their bat's name is, because it's a lot of fun. Here's a couple of them. We have Terrence. We have Batilda, Batty, Fantasmic, Fidget, Carol, and she's a little batty, Jewel,
Ava, short for felony tax evasion, which
that got us.
That was amazing. Bat Wazowski, Batney Spears, Sal, Robert Baddington, Steve, just Steve. Nunya Batness was amazing. Benji Baddington.
Finishing off with Luna and Batterina. These were awesome.
Yes. Ava takes the cake, though.
Yes.
So this was a really fun evening. It did not turn out nearly as we had wanted it to or thought we were going to execute our plans. And that was still okay. We still had a great time.
We were at Disney. We're not going to have a bad time when we are at our happy place.
We're there for the vibes.
Yeah.
The vibes weren't what we thought they were going to be, but they still existed, and we still had a great time. Yeah. Do I have some complaints? I don't know that I'd call them complaints. They're not really regrets. It's just, I wish some other stuff had happened, but I still had a fun night.
Yeah, ditto. Like I said, I really wanted to see the parade.
Yeah.
But in a couple of weeks, I will have the chance to see a Halloween parade. It just won't be the Boo to You parade.
No, you're going to see the other one. You're going to be at Oogie Boogie.
I am so excited to be going to Oogie Boogie.
I could not make this one. So yet again, Alicia's going to have another one-up on me. 2 more cruises. She's been to Disneyland Paris, and now she'll have been to Oogie Boogie without me. Love
I invited you.
I know. I have this whole job thing that actually helps us pay for this stuff. So
I have a job too.
I know. I know.
Technically, you could have gone and just taken a super late flight home.
Yeah, it was not going to happen.
Because it's a Sunday night, not a Monday night.
Well,
It's too late now. There's no tickets left.
Or like a 6 a.m. flight home. But
yeah, you're SOL.
Yeah, it's just not happening. It's okay. I will survive.
Mm-hmm. And Sterling and I will regale you with all the details.
Can't wait. You're also going to be going down with Caitlin. She'll be there with you for part of the weekend, and you're going to do Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Hollywood Studios.
And I love this so much.
Yeah, that's a hard no from me, dog. So, yeah, well, given those 2 things, it didn't really make sense for me to push the go down for the weekend because I wasn't going to do that.
It's okay. I'll still have fun.
I am happy for you.
And
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I will too. Exactly. I'm going to have 4 days to myself. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to putter around and probably do half of what I wanted to do, but I'm going to get some stuff done.
There you go.
There you go.
It's good to just chill.
Exactly.
And with that, we are not affiliated with Disney or their subsidiaries. These are personal opinions and suggestions based on our own experiences. We recommend working with a travel agent or contacting Disney directly to plan your perfect vacation.
If you have questions or suggestions or would like to be interviewed on our show to share your Disney experience, please send an email to podcast@ourmousecapades.com.
You can follow us on social. We are at Our Mousecapades. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, and occasionally Twitter.
Please do give us a rating and review in your podcast app. That really helps people find us. And of course, give us those 5 stars in Apple Podcasts. Leave us a comment, hopefully one that's clean enough for us to read, and we will share that on the air.
And of course, don't hesitate to share us with your friends and fellow Disney lovers of all ages.
Thanks for listening. We'll be in your ears next week.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.